Rated RP2M.
I did it! 1995!
Sega Saturn is not only here now, it's out there.
299.
This is a photo of the LA Convention Center in June 2023. If we play our cards right, we'll see E3 2023 fade into existence. It's time to save the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Limited Run Games 1995 E3 press conference.
Hello, welcome, how are you all? I'm with Limited Run Games. I know you all don't know who we are, but this is our 1995 E3 press conference. In the year 2023, E3 no longer exists. I know that's hard to believe, but we've traveled back in time to show you the future of gaming, to keep the spirit of E3 alive and hopefully save E3 for generations to come. So without further ado, ready your whips for our first announcement. Amazing, the future of Castlevania. And would you believe we have even more games to announce? Here are two.
Scott's Mystical Head.
ようこそ人間、我が高魔城へ。
Wow, how did you like those two reveals? Now, a legendary shmup from developer M2. This next reveal is the definitive collection of an all-time classic, brought to you by the developers of the incomparable Digital Eclipse. I'm excited to be able to preserve this masterpiece physically. It's a game that inspired one of the most popular genres of all time.
It really stuck out as a precursor of everything that games would be.
Karateka.
It was the most movie-like experience I'd ever had in a video game.
Love it. It's so good.
I didn't know who Jordan Mechner was, but I wanted to be like Jordan Mechner.
I was in college. I came home on vacation with this new project that was starting. And we were taking karate lessons.
The characters were not little sets of pixels. They, in fact, were fully formed individuals. They had personalities.
Rotoscoping is literally tracing each frame to get a frame of animation.
The aesthetic and the motion was really unusual for the time.
I knew how important music was to tell a story, but I wasn't a musician. So I turned to my dad.
I said, well, why not have a series of beats that are tuned to notes?
It understood that visuals mattered, that full motion mattered, that human beings mattered.
The story is, in most games, considered a mandatory aspect. Jordan predates all of that.
Karateka will stand the test of time as one of the most elegant game experiences that's ever been done. It's amazing.
Wow, how about that? Do you like music? Who doesn't? I love music. And if you're anything like me, you're gonna love this collection of vinyl soundtracks featuring everyone's favorite heroes in a half shell. Wow, 9 incredible soundtracks released on vinyl, CD, and cassette for the first time. Can it get any better than that? No, it can't. This next game is a remastered classic for the Nintendo Switch. This next announcement is only a tease, and I'm sorry for that. But we're happy to announce that we're collaborating with The Mix to work on 2 all-new retro games based on 2 of the most popular cartoons from the 90s. Which ones? Well, I can't tell you that today. You're gonna have to wait to find out more information. But all of you here in 1995 will be very familiar with these shows. So stay tuned for more information. And we still have more exciting games to reveal. Pull on your designer jeans and get ready to battle some fallen angels.
イーノック、神を裏切った打天使たちを天界へ連れ戻せ。それがお前の使命。心配するな。私も彼らもそばにいる。よし、行こうか。
やはり来たか。我々を追うなと警告したはずだぞ。
Wow, incredible. Let's take a look at this next announcement, which is a spin-off of a popular release that we did a couple years ago. And now, here's the latest from everyone's favorite half-genie hero.
My name is Matt Bozon. I'm the creative director at WayForward. I'm the director of the Shantae video game series. And that's what I do. You want me to do that again? So the story of how we went from Shantae Game Boy Color to Shantae Advance is Shantae was finished, but had not shipped yet. So we were already working on Shantae Advance for quite some time at this point. Shantae, the original, was very well reviewed. Sales were not good. So when we're taking the Game Boy Advance demo, which was about an hour and a half long, we'd start taking that to places. We go, well, here we go. And they go, how was the sales data for, how did Shantae the original do? We go, oh, not well at all. Do you want the new game? So it was a tough market. It was really difficult, and it was all retail driven. So there'd be too many creative compromises to either get it on a tiny, tiny cartridge or maybe a cartridge where you couldn't save your progress. We just didn't want a less ambitious Shantae game. We wanted it to be the game that we wanted to make. So for those reasons, we just shut it down and archived all the files and put it away. I'd like to finish that work. It seems weird that it was left undone, and I think fans would like it. Could you just like release pieces of it on the internet or something? Never wanted to do it because I'm like, maybe someday we'll have a chance. Well, we got our chance now. The game's title is Shantae Risky Revolution. Risky Boots has found this cavern underneath Sequin Land, and so she sets up this device that lets her rotate the land above, and landlocked towns that she could never plunder or pillage are getting rotated, and they're ending up at the coastline so she can attack them. So it's just a big silly idea, but you as the player get to control that. So you can shift the world around, it's like puzzle stuff, and you can ultimately foil Risky by using her machine against her, but in the meantime, it's fun to slide the layers. Risky Revolution is when a lot of the main cast meets, in some cases for the first time. So we went straight into Shantae Risky's Revenge where everyone just somehow knows everybody. There's an entire missing chapter of their lives that was never touched on. One of the things we wanted to have in this game was the link cable support, which sounds funny today. It's fun, it's an experience you don't get anymore. You just need one copy of the game, it sends it out to 3 empty devices. It's lighthearted and fun and really silly, and I think players will like it. I mean, to make a Game Boy Advance game in like this year is crazy, but I think it's a better version of the game than it would have been if it had come out in 2003 or 2004. There's no way this game was coming back without limited run. I mean, this is the only way that this game would ever get into players' hands. To play an actual final, manufactured version in a box is going to be super cool, and so I can't wait for that.
Wow, Shantae's Lost Adventure will finally be available to play as a cartridge, releasing for pre-orders this September. Now let's keep the momentum going with our next reveal. This next trailer is for a game that is currently available for pre-order on our webpage. You can find us on the World Wide Web at www.limitedrungames.com, or for you back in 1995 at AOL keyword Limited Run. Remember the CDI? Even though it came out 5 years ago, I'm sure you've all forgotten it. Multimedia, CD-ROM, full motion video. The CDI promised us the future, and with Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon, and Link, Faces of Evil, we almost got there. Despite being the best games in these series, these classics have been forgotten and sidelined. But Limited Run Games never forgets a classic. So presented for the first time, the spiritual successor to those classic experiences.
After 10 years of peace, the evil Dimer has returned. It's up to Princess Arzette to defeat him. In this new interactive animated adventure, Arzette must explore the kingdom of Faramore, slay fearsome foes, acquire powerful items, discover secrets, assist colorful characters,
Allow me to heal you,
and defeat Dimer's minions.
Here to challenge me?
Featuring hand-painted backgrounds, animated scenes,
my goods will improve your fortunes, so long as you improve mine.
An outstanding original score, and talent from previous interactive adventures. Good! This will be a journey you won't want to miss. Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore, coming soon to your interactive multimedia system.
Pay with something, will ya?
Wow. Speaking of another bona fide classic, you've been asking for it, and we're finally ready to reveal a release date. Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, the definitive edition, will be coming to all major platforms in September 2023. This new version of the classic game will include full audio commentary, a slew of documentary footage, and a ton of all new features and unlockable content. Get ready.
Run, Jane, run!
Oh, God.
It is the first American-produced visual novel.
He came up to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing a video game, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. We were just like Ed Wood, on the run, let's go do it, quick.
It only became this weird cult classic through the sort of YouTube zeitgeist.
I didn't think it was going to make a very good episode, but I tried anyway.
Technologically, it's rather anemic.
I mean, look at it. Either people love it.
I'm giving it too much credit.
Or they hate it.
It is a grease fire.
Or they think it's funny.
This game sort of has a legacy that's very special and one of a kind.
I think you'll love it.
You're probably rolling your eyes because we're announcing this game for the third time. Well, I guess the first for you all here back in 1995. But I promise we're really releasing this in September 2023. So mark your calendars and get ready to plumb the depths. Here's another reveal.
I feel like something is falling apart. It's two roads diverge from my heart.
Get ready to step into the shoes of Babyface and rid the city of crime in this next physical reveal. This next game comes to us from the legendary founders of Sierra Online Systems, Roberta and Ken Williams. Everyone likes turn-based RPGs, right? Of course. Well, how about a new game that's inspired by Super Mario RPG? I'm about to ask a dumb question, but have you ever wished that Punch-Out was based on the works of Jane Austen instead of Mike Tyson? Who hasn't? Well, this next reveal has got you covered.
She is nothing but a commoner. I am no longer the timid woman you once knew. Just because you were married into this family doesn't mean you have class. I am the one who will inherit the family. This house will be mine. I shall make you obey me. It will be a piece of cake for me to dodge your slaps.
Rose and Camellia Collection. Coming soon on Nintendo Switch.
1,000 years ago, superstition and the sword ruled. It was a time of darkness. It was the world of fear. It was the age of... That's right. We'll be handling the physical release of the upcoming Gargoyles Remastered. More details will be coming soon. This next game is inspired by classics like Mischief Makers, Klonoa, and Tomba. Wow, how about that? Well, I like scary games, and I'm sure you probably do too. But it's always bothered me that one classic Japanese horror game never came to America. Well, until now, that is.
Starting with River City Girl Zero, we've been bringing these Japanese-only releases to a Western audience.
And I think being able to put that on modern platforms is fantastic, allows more people to experience something that they may have never experienced before. We are definitely looking into more of these. Personally, I want to see more horror games.
I'm Mariel Cartwright. I am the creative lead of the Port Plus version of Clock Tower. I've always been a big horror fan. I love, Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I just love horror games in general and horror movies. But Clock Tower in particular is a game that I discovered when I was probably about 16, and it holds a really special place in my heart because at the time it was the scariest thing I had ever played. As this character Jennifer, I'm trying to get away from the Scissor Man. We have a ton of games where you're fighting monsters and you're shooting them with guns, and that can still be scary, but Clock Tower is distinct in that you really don't have any of those tools.
It was one of the first experiences for me that really was like that in terms of horror, and I think that that's fantastic.
It is true survival horror. You can only survive, and I think it is a game that has a lot of quieter tension. Jennifer is such an interesting character because at the start of the game, we don't know a lot about her. And I think the game does such an amazing job of revealing a very heartbreaking story about her, through different playthroughs of the game because it has a bunch of endings. And I think that's part of what got me so attached.
There's kind of like the reverse engineering aspect of that, and then there's the other aspect of like, how do you get this stuff back into the game?
Usually we always try to have both the legacy product as it was, and also offer something that's surprising. Like in River City Zero, we had the manga cutscenes. That's a fun little surprise for people.
Directing the animated opening is pretty crazy.
That's where we can add our own creativity, adding intro sequences and new translations.
For Clock Tower specifically, there's a lot of like scripting events in there, so there might be a command to say, change the display speed of text. That's kind of been a tricky thing too with localization. It's like, how do I represent that?
Being able to kind of oversee that and bring a new vision of this game to life, to be a part of it in any way at all is just incredible.
That's right. The original Super Famicom classic, Clock Tower, is being released in English for the first time ever. Wow. Clock Tower is kicking off our final segment of the showcase, which is totally based around our technology, the Carbon Engine. The Carbon Engine allows us to take games from classic platforms and release them on modern platforms with ease. Development on the Carbon Engine is being spearheaded by famous internet personality, Modern Vintage Gamer. I'm not sure if that's his real name, but in any case, hold on to your butts for this exciting Carbon Engine release.
65 million years in the making.
InGen must be eliminated. I will have control of Jurassic Park.
To celebrate the 30th anniversary of the iconic Jurassic Park film, Limited Run Games is collaborating with Universal Games and digital platforms to release a collection of classic Jurassic Park 8-bit and 16-bit games for modern platforms, which will be available to pre-order on September 1st.
If you're not excited yet, you will be about this next one. Well, that's it. That's all we have. But the picture. E3 isn't saved yet. Well, I think that means we need one more thing. One more thing.
Were you expecting someone else? Kept you waiting, huh?
It's tail time. And look at that! Gex saved E3. E3 2023 happened. And now, that means E3 2024 is saved. Because of you and Gex. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you at E3 2024.
Currently finalizing a series of proposals.
Sony digital delivery systems for every media.
Advances in technology come and go.
Tail time!